Today we're talking about Howard Zinn's A People's History of the United States, and this is Chapter 1. So, first off, Spain was recently unified at this time, along with other European countries. It was trying to find a route to Asia because Asia held gold and spices. So, at this time, the Turks controlled the Silk Road, which is the land route to Asia. However, a water route at this time had to be found. Some Portuguese explorers went around the bottom tip of Africa and wound up in Asia and finding that route, but was very long and very hard. So Columbus was trying to sail across the ocean to find Asia, to find a direct route rather than going around the bottom tip of Africa. However, Christopher Columbus ended up in the Bahamas instead, a whole new land. So the first people he met there in the Bahamas were the Arawak Indians, who were very friendly and wanted to trade with Columbus and were very open to Columbus and his crew. But however, Columbus only wanted gold and slaves because that's what he promised to the rulers he was doing the expedition for. So in the Bahamas, they didn't have that much gold at all. And so Columbus had to start capturing Indians and made them collect gold, which was impossible because they had to collect a certain amount every 3 months, and that was just impossible for them to do. So the Indians at this time began to commit suicide with cassava poison. Even children were killed because they didn't want their children to fall into the Spaniards or the Portuguese or any other European country at that time. In 2 years of the 250,000 Arawak Indians on Haiti, only half remained, and when gold could not be found in the island, the Indians were used as slaves on plantations known as encomiendas, and by 1515 there were only about 50,000 Arawak Indians left, and by 1550 there were only 500. By 1650, only 100 years later, no original Arawak Indians were living in the Bahamas. Cortez also was sent to this new world to try and find gold and slaves to bring back to his home country. And Cortez met the Aztec Indians of Mexico, and they had vast sums of gold, and Cortez began to slaughter them, and after using developed tactics at the time, he would take all the gold and only attack villages to weaken the morale and support of the Aztec Indians. And also at this time, Pizarro was killing the Incas in Peru, and the English settlers in North America were killing the Powhatans and Picota Indians. And these three different times of killing the Aztecs, the Incas, and the English settlers that are killing the Powhatans, Picutas, were all similar in as they all wanted gold except for the English settlers. They wanted the land and believed that God had given them the land to live on themselves. So in general, in conclusion, the Indians of the Native Americans of Mexico, Peru, North America, and Mexico all wanted originally to just trade with the Europeans. However, the Europeans treated them very wrong and instead decided to enslave them, kill them, for the only reason of that they wanted gold and slaves for their home countries.